This sequence is called dawning. It's about healing from your past. We're going to start off in Sukhasana, our cross-legged position. So coming onto your mat, sitting cross-legged, ankle over ankle or shin over shin if you can take it a little bit deeper. Be mindful that you're sitting evenly across your sitting bones. You can pull the flesh away from the sitting bones to find that evenness. And then relax your hands onto your thighs, palms down. Start breathing in and out through your nose. Take a cleansing breath or two if you need them. Cleansing breaths are in the nose and out the mouth. And then when you are able to take a deep, full breath all the way in and all the way out through the nose only, start breathing evenly. In and out through the nose, 5 counts in and 5 counts out. Noticing how you're feeling, emotionally and mentally and physically. And then take your focus and your attention completely to your breath. Focus on your in-breath. Focus as you exhale. Pull your low belly in at the bottom of your exhale. Taking a few more breaths here, just simply focusing on the breath only, you'll notice that the mind drifts this way and that. Gently, very easily bring it back to focusing on the breath. And then you can set an intention and release your intention to the universe. Total trust without any conditions or expectations. Taking 2 more breaths here. Knowing that as we move into our practice today, we will focus on healing from the past. At the bottom of your exhale, draw your low belly in and up and back towards your low back. And on your inhalation breath, gently open your eyes, uncross your legs, and we're going to move into downward facing dog. So start off on your hands and your knees, spread your fingers open wide, line up your wrists underneath your shoulders, line up your knees underneath your hips, and tuck your toes under. Take a deep inhalation all through your upper back, and as you exhale, lift your seat up and back into downward facing dog. Make an adjustment so that you have the proper length in down dog. We're going to rock forward into a high push-up plank, and notice if you have your shoulders directly over your wrists, and you should have your heels directly over the crease in your toes. And then let's go up and back again into downward facing dog and take a few breaths here. Draw the low belly in. Engage the thighs, press them back. Engage your arms. Let your chest come through towards your thighs and bring your gaze a little bit further up. So you're looking at your knees or your thighs and possibly your navel. You can walk your dog a bit. Do this slowly. And hold your downward facing dog, taking 2 more breaths. Bring your right foot up for triangle, Utthita Konasana. Use a block if you need to. The legs are straight. In triangle pose, where you have your torso parallel with the ground on one side of the chest, And you'll notice that you've got your head in line with your heart, in line with your hips. This gives us a great opportunity to be right in the present moment. We can feel the earth pulling from underneath us. We can feel the sky above us. And we're right in that balance in between the two. Increase the strength in your legs. Allow whatever thoughts come in to come in, acknowledge them, and release them with your exhalation breath. Refocus on your breath. Transitioning now into Padanghustasana, which is our side triangle. Fold over your right leg and place your head onto your knee. Level your hips. Gently bring the left hip slightly down and in, and the right hip slightly back and up. Engage your thighs. Pull the low belly in, up and back, and you'll start to feel your navel center lifting through towards the sacrum, and the sacrum drawing in towards the navel. Draw your shoulder blades down. Take a deep breath here. This pose is a beautiful representation of moving forward, going back, and finding that balance in between the two, right at your navel center. Then look forward and step your left foot up to meet your right. Fold in. And we're going to take the feet hip distance apart for Padanghustasana, holding the big toe pose in our forward bend. So toe heel your feet apart, hip distance or slightly wider, and grab a hold of your big toes with your peace fingers, middle and index fingers, hooking around the big toes with the palms facing one another. Draw the shoulder blades down away from the neck, and we're going to go into this really deeply, and we're going to take our time going into this. So bend your knees generously until you feel your ribs touching your thighs, and feel the contact of having your ribs touch your thighs. So your yoga practice is a lot about feeling and trying not to overthink. Let yourself actually feel. What is that feeling like? Creating that contact with your ribs onto your thighs. You start to feel connected to yourself. We're going to straighten the arms, still keeping this connection, and scoop the chest forward, looking forward. Don't crank your neck back. Look forward with your eyes. Draw the shoulder blades down again. Take a super deep inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to start to fold in, bending the elbows and working to straighten the legs, still keeping that upper to lower body in contact with one another. Holding here, taking 2 more breaths, a little bit of weight forward towards your toes, the hips aligning over the ankle bones, and then gently release your fingers from your toes, toe heel your feet towards one another, stay in your forward bend. Step back into a high push-up plank and lower all the way down to the ground. Keeping your hands on either side of your chest, put the tops of your feet down. Draw your low belly in and push your sitting bones towards your heels as you exhale. On the inhale, curl and lift the chest into Bhujangasana Cobra. Draw the shoulder blades down. And exhale. Drag the ribs forward as you lower. Tuck the toes and press up and back into downward facing dog. Take a breath. Now we're going to step up with the left foot, coming into triangle, Utthita Konasana. The legs are straight, and you've got that left hand behind the left ankle. The right arm goes up, and the torso is turning to face the long edge of your mat. Feel how you have the left side body is closer to the earth, right side body closer to the sky, and align your spine as long as you can and as evenly as you can in between those two planes. Looking up if you can, Taking deep breaths, keep engaging your thighs, pulling in your low belly, lift the chest more, and transition into Padanghustasana, pyramid pose, or side triangle pose. Head comes to the knee, shoulder blades draw down away from the neck. Hit the thighs back so that you feel yourself pressing back. Lengthen the spine, extending the spine more deeply down the thigh. You should have to round your head up to your knee. Press with your hands, press with your feet, lift with your thighs, strengthen your arms, strengthen your side bodies, and create more space in your spine. Feel that balance right at the navel center as you draw the navel, the belly button in, up, back towards the spine. Draw the sacrum in. Good, and then look up and step forward. Right foot to meet the left, toe heel the feet apart. Padanghustasana, holding the big toe in our forward bend. Bending the knees generously, hook the peace fingers around the big toes, palms facing each other. Shoulder blades are down. Find that contact with your ribs touching your thighs, and low ribs to thighs is fine, but you'll find that you may even be able to get a little bit more contact a little further up the ribs. On the inhale, lift the chest, look up, straight arms, long spine, and then exhale, bend the elbows, suck in the low belly, and lift the seat skyward. Hit those thighs back, straighten the legs, draw the shoulder blades down away from the neck. Taking a couple of breaths here, keeping that upper to lower body contact, feeling that connection to yourself. Feel grounded in the feet. Let's take a little weight forward towards the toes, hips aligning over the ankle bones. Straighten the legs one more time. And then gently release the hands so you're taking the fingers off of the toes and stepping back into high push-up plank. Lower down to the floor for Bhujangasana Cobra. Inhalation, lift the chest. Exhalation, press up and back into our downward facing dog. Looking up, step to the top of the mat, fold in. Inhale and rise all the way up, sweeping the arms above the head, coming into hands in prayer position at the top of the mat, Samastiti. Reconnect with your breath. You should have a pretty good idea how you're feeling right now, physically and emotionally and mentally. Refocus on your breath if the mind is scattered. If you're feeling rather sleepy, then really focus on engaging your body as much as you can. Waking up. Inhale, raise the arms above your head. Exhale, bow forward. Gently look up, step back right, step back left, lower all the way down to the ground. Tops of feet down, hands on either side of the chest. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Take a breath all the way in and all the way out. Look forward, step up right, step up left, fold in. Inhale, rise and arc back. Exhalation, bow forward. Look up halfway, step back left, step back right, lower down to the ground. Tops of feet down, hands stay where they are on either side of the chest. Inhalation for cobra. Exhalation for downward facing dog. Take a breath. Look up, step up left, step up right, fold in. Inhale, come all the way up and bring your hands to heart center. Moving into some sun bees. Inhale, raise your arms above your head. Keeping the arms up, bend your knees and sit to an imaginary chair, uneven pose. Put some weight a little bit towards the heels. Lengthen the toes. Squeeze the knees together. Pull in the low belly. Lift up through the chest. Lengthen the arms. And then exhale, bow forward. Look up halfway. Step back, right and left, lower all the way down to the ground. Take the hands wide, high on the fingertips. Inhalation, curl up into auspicious cobra. Exhalation, hands on either side of the chest, tuck the toes, press up and back, downward facing dog. We're going to take our right foot forward for warrior two. Right knee bending at 90 degrees, left leg straight and strong. Torso is in the center line, chest is facing the long edge of your mat, arms extended at shoulder height, gaze is to the right. Feel the strength and the power that you have within you as you go into your warrior two, as you go towards it. You find that you can get stronger and hold it longer. If you fight against it, you're going to get fatigued. So engage your legs, pull in your belly, lift in your chest, strengthen in the arms. Gently look over to the left, rotating in the neck, rotating a little more in the chest, and then sliding, extending, reaching to the right for Upavista Konasana side angle. Placing the right hand behind the right ankle and taking the left arm all the way over your head. Turning the waist and the chest and the shoulders and the neck away from the earth. Keep engaging both thighs and pressing the top of the left thigh back. Try to balance the weight in your feet so you're not all in the right foot. Transition into Ardha Chandrasana. Move right hand forward about 10 inches. Left hand on hip. Take a deep inhale and use your inner strength. Lift up into half moon. Left leg extending straight back from the left hip, lower belly drawn in and rotating away from the earth. Turn the waist and the chest, look up if it's comfortable. Use your left hand to the ground for balance. Step your feet side by side, bend the knees and sit down into your imaginary chair. Now keeping the arms above the head, standing up, so we're in Hastasana, our upward hands pose, coming into Natarajasana, dancers. Keep your left palm facing forward now. Drop your right arm down by your side, palm of the hand soft to the elbow facing out. Bend into the right knee, grab hold of the foot on the instep of the foot, big toe side. Taking an inhale breath, on the exhale, start to kick the foot back and up. Pull the low belly in more. Notice as you pull your belly in, you can create more space for your spine to lengthen up and open your chest more. Notice how when you engage one area, other areas benefit. For 3, 2, 1. Gently releasing, stepping the feet side by side. Let's sit back down into our imaginary chair. And then exhale, bow forward. Look up halfway, step back, left and right. Lower. Take the hands wide, high. Curl up, auspicious cobra. Exhalation, press up and back, downward facing dog. Left foot comes forward for warrior two. Arms are extended. Left knee bends at 90 degrees. Right leg straight, torso facing long edge of the mat. Arms at shoulder height. Engaging, going towards the pose, going into it, going towards yourself. Practicing acceptance. Noticing as you get stronger that you can hold this pose longer and with less effort. We put the effort in on the front end and it becomes effortless over time. Looking now over the right shoulder and then sliding left, coming into side angle, Upavista Konasana, left hand behind left ankle, right arm reaching over, waist and chest and shoulders and neck rotating away from the earth. Keep the weight as even as you can through both of your feet so you're not all in the left foot on this side. Then we take left hand and move it forward about 10 inches. Take right hand to hip. Deep inhalation breath. Find that inner strength and exhale, lift into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Right leg extending straight back from the hip. Turning the waist and chest away from the earth, looking up as you're able. Extending the top arm as you're able. Placing the right hand down. Using it for balance, stepping the feet side by side. Sit down into the imaginary chair. Keeping the arms extended, stand upright into Utthita, upward hands. And now turning the right palm forward, drop the left arm down by your side. Palm of the hand soft to the elbow facing out. Bending left knee, grabbing hold of the instep, the big toe side of the foot. Inhale, lift up through the chest, lengthen the spine. Exhale, kick back and up. Taking the low belly in. Notice as the spine lifts and you can open your chest more. Take the back bend deeper. Pick up your chin. And then gently releasing, stepping the feet together, bending the knees, sitting down into your imaginary chair. And exhale, bow forward, flow through a vinyasa. Look up halfway, step back or jump, and then flow it out. You can take chaturanga to up dog, or you can lower all the way to the ground. Inhale, curl it up, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths here, align, reconnect with your breath, and rest. Looking up, step or jump to the top, fold in, bend your knees and sit down into your imaginary chair. Come all the way up and bring your hands to your heart. Great place to grab a quick sip if you need some water. And then we're going to move into Utthita Hasta Padanghustasana. This is holding the big toe, standing upright. And you may need a strap. Also, we are going to do versions A, B, and C. So get ready for a challenge. Standing in the center of your mat, engaging your left leg, raise your right thigh up parallel to the floor. Flex the toes back towards your face, hands are onto the hips. You want to find the mountain pose even when you have this one leg up. And now we're going to take the right hand, middle and index fingers, down the inside of the right leg, and then grab hold of the big toe. Stand upright again. The knee is up near the shoulder now. And on the exhale breath, send the right leg forward. And this is version A. And then on the next exhale, take the leg out to the right. More advanced, can bend the elbow to lift the leg higher. Keep the toes flexed back towards the face. Bring the leg back in line with the hip. And then take your left hand and grab the outside of your right foot and bring your right arm back. And we're coming into version C. This is the twist. Keep the leg straight forward, twist the torso. Come back to the center and gently place the foot down. Let's do the other side. Standing in the right leg, lift the left thigh up, flex the toes back towards the face, hands are onto the hips. Find that mountain pose. Taking now your middle and index finger on your left hand, reaching down the inside of the thigh, grabbing hold of the big toe on the left foot. Stand upright, lifting the knee up. On the next exhale, send the leg forward. This is version A. On the next exhale, out to the left, B. Bend the elbow, lift the foot higher if you can. Right arm can be extended. Then bring the leg back in line with the hip. Take right hand to the outside of the left foot, left arm reaching back. And ideally, you want to get one straight line from your toes across your shoulders. And then come center and release. Good. Let's flow. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, bow. Look up halfway, step back. Lower all the way down to the ground. Inhale for cobra and exhale for down dog. Coming into kakasana, this is our crow. So you want to squat down and take your hands to the ground and bring your feet toward each other. Rise up onto the balls of your feet and bring your knees just to the outside of the upper arm. Elbows are bending. And gently start to shift some weight forward while still pulling the shoulder blades down and float up into your crow. And then place the feet back down. Come down onto your hands and your knees. Bring your right leg forward like half pigeon. Only this time we're going to stay upright and bend the back leg. Reach back and hook the soft of your elbow around the top of your foot. Then take your top arm, reach back, and grab hands. We hold here. You may notice that your chest wants to turn towards your back leg. Pull your belly in. Remember what we did in Dancer, where we pulled the belly in and we were able to lift the chest more? Do that and also rotate the chest from left to right. Good. And then release. Come back onto your hands and your knees, and we'll do the other side, taking the left leg forward for mermaid. And we're going to reach back and hook the right elbow around the top of the right foot. Reach with the left arm up, grab hands. You can use your strap for this, of course. Drop your tail, pull in your belly, lift the chest, and rotate the chest from right to left. Taking a couple of breaths here. And the more you engage your legs and act like you're trying to send your knees in opposite directions, the deeper you'll go. And then gently releasing from there, we're going to take it into a wheel or a bridge, turning the fingers towards the heels. Inhalation. On the exhalation, come up. Coming all the way up into our wheel and moving the chest away from the feet. Parallel the feet, parallel your hands. Work for straighter arms. Engage your legs almost like you were trying to stand up out of the pose. And gently release. Feet together, knees open, coming into Upavista Konasana. This is the butterfly pose. 2 breaths. Good. Use your hands to close your knees. And we're moving into compass. So taking your right leg over your right shoulder. Take your left hand over the top of your right foot. Grab hold of the outer edge of the foot. Your left leg can be bent or it can be extended. Extended is easier. Take an inhale to your chest, and on the exhale, straighten your right leg and turn your chest away from your right leg. Lean into the pose, going towards the pose. Lift your chest more, shoulder blades down. Get stronger, you'll go deeper, you'll have more freedom. And releasing, taking the left leg and bringing it over your left shoulder. Take the right hand across the top of the foot. Take an inhale. On the exhale, straighten in the left leg and turn your entire chest to the right. Lean into it so that you can get more length and lift in your chest, more rotation. The leg will straighten better. And then gently releasing from there. Come up into Savasana 1, which is headstand. And we'll hold for a minute. If you don't do Savasana 1 yet, that's okay. You can lie on your back with your legs up. Just get your feet higher than your heart. If you are coming up into Savasana 1, you want to interlace your hands, holding the back of your head. You can use the wall if you need to. And then take your legs up. You can do both legs at the same time. You can curl up into a ball and then send them up. And we've got about 20 more seconds. Draw the shoulder blades down, pull the low belly in. Rotate the thighs toward each other. And just notice when you connect your head with the earth, just how much intelligence the earth holds. You can feel it. Slowly come down. Balasana, child's pose. 2 breaths. So for every minute you're in an inversion, an upside down pose, when you come down, you take 2 breaths for each minute. So for instance, if you were in something for, 5 minutes, you would take 10 breaths. We were in 1 minute, we're taking 2 breaths. Upavista Konasana, take the legs in a straddle and grab hold of the big toes. If that doesn't work, just hold the shins or the thighs. Inhalation, lift the chest. Exhalation, fold forward. Some of you will be able to get your chin onto the ground, but don't force it. Keep your low belly pulling in and keep your feet straight up and down. Draw the shoulder blades away from the neck, and then inhale and come up. Use your hands to close your thighs. And we're going to come onto the mat on our backs for Matsyasana fish. So bend your knees and take your seat up as you put your hands under your seat with the palms of the hands facing down. Then extend your legs so your hands are trapped underneath there. Press into the elbows, lift through the chest and drop the head back so that you come on the crown of the head. And hold. If your chest starts to sink down, you'll feel uncomfortable. So imagine you can keep pressing, lengthening through your hands, through your elbows. Lift the chest more. And then gently releasing, bend the knees and take the hands out from underneath your seat. Now take the hips and the buttocks, move everything over to the left side of the mat. Put the arms in a goalpost position at shoulder height. Pull the knees into the chest on the exhale. Drop the legs over to the right for supine twist. 2 breaths. Just wringing it out. Then lift your top leg followed by your bottom leg. Pick up the hips and move them over to the right. Pull the knees into the chest. And then as you exhale, drop the knees over to the left. Supine twisting on this side. Be mindful at this point, knowing that the class is coming to a close, that you do not let your mind drift or focus on things that aren't happening in this moment. This is actually one of the most open moments you have in the class. So don't clutter it up with stuff. Let's lift the top leg, followed by the bottom. Come into the center line, Savasana. And I'll read you a little something. This is about healing from your past. Today will be a better day. We think to ourselves as we wake, the early morning light illuminating the branches outside of our window to dance behind our drawn shades. Still, those branches seem to gently beckon us, maybe letting us know that it's okay to go out there. Nature often speaks to us in its nurturing and truthful ways, connecting to our own inner voice, outlining the truth. We watch those leaves and branches dance and wake up a bit more. Distractions begin to creep in, like vines slowly taking over certain trees. These thoughts creep into our minds, and slowly take over our thoughts. And the struggle to hold on to positivity begins. The gates of doubt slowly creak open and the hauntings of our fears materialize, blowing like a cold and empty wind inside of us. The urge to succumb to another day of living through this settles like a weight across our soul. We'll just do what we're told to do. It's easier that way. We get ready for the day in a mindless routine that we constructed long ago. We lock our dreams away. We let go of hope and forget any expectations that someday someone will help. We let that cold wind chill us entirely, and we succumb. We succumb because we're scared. We succumb because we're taught that this was what we must do. We live a life that limits our spirit to only the very earliest of those waking moments, that morning light, and only because we are not awake enough then to chase it away before it sneaks in. And that is when it dawns on us. We are the ones that chase it away with our thoughts. That means that we are making a choice. As time passes, our faith tends to fade away, and we let others tell us what we're supposed to do, to say what we're supposed to say. But even as we give in, we cannot entirely erase our inner voice. And that is why the struggle finds us in the early morning, in those waking thoughts, when that inner voice is pure and as honest as nature itself. It can never be silenced, even when we think we wish it would be. It stays steady and tirelessly works to set us free. Different thoughts push their way up now, and they definitely know a greater truth. Go back to yourself, the inner voice tells us. There are many things you know to be true. You are not lost, you are not wrong, and you are not supposed to be someone else. This moment, when the day is dawning, is not something you have to fight for. This moment is ours to have always, if we simply choose to listen to our inner voice. Accepting ourselves, accepting our past, and accepting the truth is like letting a warm breeze push the coldness away. Those vines that strangle the mind will release their hold. And that light that wakes us each day is more than the light behind our window. It is the light within our soul.